animation!
We waited years for Nichijou to return with a season 2. But what if I told you its successor is already here with an anime? No, it's not Nichijou 2.0, but something just as unhinged and maybe even better. From the same brilliant, slightly deranged mind of Keiichi Arabi comes City, an anime where chaos isn't just lurking in the background, it's the main character. The anime is set to premiere on July 7th, 2025, directed by Tachi Ishidate, known for his emotionally rich work on Violent Evergarden with Kyoto Animation, the studio behind Nichijou, back. At the center of City is Midori, a college student with no money, no morals, and no motivation except to keep the fun going. She's behind on rent, her landlady is hunting her like a bounty target, and even her best friend won't lend her money anymore. Most would find a job or clean up their life. Midori, she chooses chaos. She schemes, she scams, she sprints from responsibility, dragging the entire city behind her like a whirlwind. When an anime's official website literally uses a character rocket to scroll up the page, you know shit's going down. And it is indeed, because City might just be a better, upgraded version of Nichijou in every way. The world building in City makes absolutely no attempt to create a cohesive geography or timeline. Instead, the world bends to the needs of the gags, everything revolving on the comedic timing which we have come to see from Nichijou, with plenty of exaggerated coincidences leading to chaos. The city, as in the actual location where this chaos undergoes, is seemingly sprawling, yet claustrophobic feeling, filled with oddly specific locales like the over-the-top family restaurant. The core of the series, the characters formed by the trio, Midori, Ayumi, and Wako, are the anchors in this turbulent world, with each being comedically unstable in their own way. Midori is the engine of disaster. She's impulsive, broke, and full of wild ideas that never work out. What makes her so entertaining is that she never wins. Life keeps dunking on her and she just keeps sprinting toward the next scam. Depending on your view, she's either charmingly determined or frustratingly selfish, but she's never boring. Then there's Ayumu, the supposed best friend of Midori, who spends much of her time avoiding her. If Midori is the reckless storm, Ayumi is the unwilling umbrella, trying to keep everything dry but still getting soaked anyway. She's technically the most responsible member of the trio, but responsible doesn't mean calm, because Ayumi's life is one long sigh of exasperation, with a lot of complaints and attempts to escape Midori's orbit that just keeps pulling. And finally, there's Wako, who might just be the strangest of the three, whimsical, spacey, and almost certainly detached from reality, but in a way you wouldn't expect. Wako sees the world as one big curiosity, and she brings that energy into the very scene. She might interrupt an argument just to point out a cloud that looks like a cow, or tag along just because something seems fun. She doesn't really lead the group, and she's not trying to keep up the peace either. But somehow, her randomness balances out the polar opposite the other two bring out, and of course not to forget the supporting cast, which is as brilliant as Nichijou, throwing new weirdos at you constantly, and somehow you remember all of them. Forget arcs, City is all about side quests, with every chapter having its own self-contained gag or sketch, but as you watch more, patterns emerge, characters reappear, threads start to loosely intertwine, and slowly you realize something. The city itself is the main character. Like a living absurd organism, it shifts, reacts, and breathes through the people in it. The comedy maintains Arabi's signature flair for slapstick and humor, but grounds it in a world that is more real than Nichijou. There's still definitely chaos, but it's a bit more tied to interpersonal relationships and events rather than existential nonsense. In Nichijou, the humor thrives on building up mundane moments to absurdly grand climaxes, but City, by contrast, is looser, messier, and more situational, leaning heavily on comedic world building, where everyone is slightly unhinged and everything that can go wrong will, just not in the way you expect. Clean, crisp, and slapsticky. Expect literally the same art style and animation as Nichijou. Talking about what looks promising, This is KyoAni's first entirely new production since the 2019 arson tragedy, and the emotional weight behind it is impossible to ignore. They are not just the right studio for City, they are the only studio that could give it life at this level. The trailer already nails the tone weird, vibrant, and beautifully chaotic. This also marks Taichi Ishidate's solo debut as a director. He has experience from Nichijou, and this project may give him room to fully express that comedic timing. In addition, the casting seems like a massive win, which plays more than an important role, especially in a slapstick comedy series like this, where delivery can make or break a gag. If casting hits the right energy, City will thrive. So far, everything sounds perfect. But if I had to absolutely talk about some possible negatives, it's in who the show is for and how its comedy lands on screen. The manga is episodic, lacking big emotional arcs or plot stakes. It lives and dies by gag rhythm, but anime timing is fixed. There's no skimming a joke or pausing for effect. If the timing's off, the joke dies on screen. And not every joke will work for every viewer. Some land immediately, others fall flat. The challenge is not in replicating the manga, but in elevating it. It's in how this is translated into an anime that can either make the most of the good jokes, complement the ones that did not work, or create something new. Either way, this is tricky and is something that is essential for the anime's success. Another risk is the audience expectation itself. Despite being from the creator of Nichijou, City is more scatterbrained, slower with jokes that are more of a story. People expecting the tightly constructed chaos of Nichijou might be thrown off by how City meanders. The humor isn't always a haha funny, sometimes it's just baffling. And in a season stacked with action packed blockbusters and heartfelt dramas, City may feel like a bizarre outlier. Personally, the only way to screw this anime is with bad voice acting and direction. Otherwise, I think City is going to be successful enough to warrant another season, and then another, and then maybe another Nichijou anime as a gift too. Because the way I see it, City is going mainstream and ain't no one stopping it. So who should watch it? City is best suited for viewers who enjoy understated, surreal comedy. It's a show for those who appreciate small details, ambient absurdity, and a lack of traditional structure. If you're looking for clear direction, jokes with consistent pacing, and payoff, then this may not be the right fit. In the end, City the animation is not trying to be everything for everyone. Its content being strange, specific, and physical. And if that appeals to your sense of humor, then it may be one of the most unique shows you watch all year. If you enjoyed this video, then do consider subscribing to my channel for more.